Okay, please hold the palm. Okay, one bow to the Buddha. Okay, first prostration. Second prostration. Okay, third prostration. Okay, one bow to the Buddha again. Okay, please stay a sec. Okay, please stay a sec. Okay, as usual, please hold the palm and follow me. Nam mô观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世 音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世 音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。Okay, please follow me. 南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。南无本师释迦牟尼佛。OK。Okay, good morning, all brothers and sisters. Okay, for the first announcement, okay, just to remind everybody, our next lesson on 6th of August, as normal, first week of the month, 3 days before National Day. So we won't crash. Okay, 6th of August, next lesson. Now, so before we start the talk, there's 2 questions was asked by one of the students for the previous lesson when we dismissed the class. He or she, I don't know, never write down the name, but anyway was written in Chinese and mixed with the English and now with something like that. Okay, as for the first question, he's talking about 真心 true mind. This whiteboard too small, right? The big one is there. Okay, true mind, 真心. Actually, it's similar with what we call pure mind. 不用的啦. By the time you carry, no, don't need, not necessary. Thanks. Next time use the big one. Okay, so in Buddhism, true mind also means pure mind. Like you and me are contaminated. Our mind are contaminated, right? You know. So we call it pure mind. Chinese called 静心. Okay? Now, you say pure mind originally is pure. True mind, yeah, it actually refers to pure mind. Originally it's pure. It's just like before we born in this world, or when people was young, very pure one. It's not contaminated, not highly influenced by the external world, right? It's very pure. But once you grow up, work in the society, mix with the people, all kinds of people, 小人大人, sabu king and queen, so it becomes contaminated, that kind of thing. Now, is it pure mind or true mind? Originally is pure. Why end up with delusion? Delusion mind, that means impure, right? Contaminated. Then become, ignorance and hate, greed, hatred, ignorance. Now, the reason is because, just like in Buddhism, talking about Buddha nature, 佛性. Buddha nature, right? In the way to Buddha, 成佛之道, I taught you before. Buddha nature. Right? 佛性. Buddha nature means potential enlightenment. Everybody can become Buddha. There's a potential for everybody can become Buddha. 每个人可以成佛. Right? So end up with so many Buddha. But it's different from other religion. Other religion talk about God, Almighty God, only one. Like in Christianity, Jesus, like Hinduism, Hinduism got 2, Vishnu and whatever. Islam, Allah, one. Chinese Taoism, so many spirit, except toilet, everywhere they pray. Except toilet, 厕所不拜，什么都拜. Even door also got God, table, everything. So you better be careful. Don't anyhow kick the door, Joking. Now, anyway, so, everybody can become Buddha. Originally, everybody pure. So it's inside potential, we can't see. We call it Buddha nature. So we, through cultivation, 修行, cultivate the Dharma, right? The Dharma, practice the Dharma in our daily life, and this is how we generate the wisdom. Okay, and this how we reflect our pure so-called like Buddha nature come out, manifest, So therefore, this is actually due to, our ignorance, and because of the mind was contaminated, highly influenced by the external world, 受到外面影响. So therefore, become not pure already. It's not a true mind anymore. So become delusion, ignorance, greed, hatred, ignorance, 贪嗔痴. These are the three poisons, 三毒 in Buddhism. And all these are considered mental defilement, or we call it affliction, 烦恼. Greed, hatred, ignorance, I think you should believe, right? Everybody have a greed, hatred, ignorance. And these are the three very fundamental ones. We call it three poisons, 三毒. Like, why people go for casino to gamble, why people corruption is because of greed. Right? Greed, 贪心嘛. Now, greed is depend on you that you come for the class, you also have a kind of desire, greed, so-called like greed, but this is a positive one because you come here for Dharma class, So you want to come here to gain the Dharma knowledge, but all these are good deed, good behavior, definitely got merit, but not enough according to Buddhism. At the end of the day, we should go beyond that, transcend, 超越. Because you come for the Dharma class, Dharma talk, you still cling on to Dharma, to the Dharma. According to Diamond Sutra, 法上应舍，何况非法. You know the Chinese phrase? Even the Dharma emptiness, you still have to let go already. You talk about emptiness. At the end, emptiness, we also cannot cling on to the emptiness. 空, the notion of emptiness. Is considered attachment. Then you may want to ask, then how at the end of the day, nothing? Right? That means you cannot grab something that has become nothing already, nothingness. But it's not nothingness, because you want us not to have a kind of attachment. According to Nagarjuna, Longsu Pusa. Okay, I mean, this is so-called like, according to Buddha teaching. So this is the reason why, pure mind, true mind become a delusion. Okay, next question. The Chinese, 众生本是一体是什么意思? Wow, this is very profound. You're talking about all sentient beings are one essence or one entity or one substance, right? In English, it means one. It's one. All sentient beings, including human beings, right? All kinds of beings are 一体. 一体 means one entity or one essence or one substance. Now, you may have heard before, we call it one substance, two function. 一体两面. Do you know the meaning of one substance, two function? 一体两面. I give you an example. Two examples. First example, just like our hand. 掌心掌背, right? Whether here or here. So these are two functions, two sides, right? But it's under one hand, So under this one hand is called one substance, two function. Got it? Okay, another example. We talk about human being. 人类, human being. You and me, regardless, male or female, we are all considered as human being. 对不对? 人嘛, 我们都是人嘛. But 人有 male and female, different gender, 男人跟女人嘛. But regardless of 男人跟女人, whether you're male or female, we are all human beings. So all human beings are one family, one substance. Right? Two function, two sides. That means we got male and female. Understood? 你就听得懂了. So here 众生是一体的 because according to Buddhism, these are very profound. According to Buddhism, the Buddha teaching, we talk about middle path. You know middle path, right? 中道. If you study the Dharma class, you know. Just like A, B. Okay, these are the two extremes. Okay? Middle path, but it's not center. It's go beyond the two extremes, right? Neither A nor B. So this is middle path, 中道. This is what Buddha taught us. Okay? This is what Buddha taught us. Now, 众生一体 means 一体, one substance means middle path. But they got two sides, right? Whether male or female, whether positive or negative, whether plus or minus. Because all these are talking in the worldly Dharma, 世间法, in this world, the far world. Everything in contrast. Everything in contrast. So therefore, why we end up with differentiated mind, 分别心, differentiated mind, tall, short, black and white, good and bad, everything. So you start to compare. You start to compare because you have a differentiated mind. right? Because we are living in this defiled world. 我们在这个五浊恶世嘛 in this world. Now, so Buddhism wants us to go beyond, but take this reality world as a platform. Okay, as a platform. Then, when you are in this platform, you are very often used to cling on to something, what we see, what we feel, and so on and so forth. But when we transcend from these two extremes, that means we are not easily influenced by external things in this phenomena. But doesn't mean that we don't recognize things in the phenomena. I told you before, right? You have to recognize the function of the computer, so I can use a PowerPoint. You have to recognize the table, the function of the table, can put the books, can put the glass of water, and so on and so forth, right? So Buddhism doesn't deny that, the value and the usage, the function of all things in this world, in this phenomena. He recognizes, but he just wants us to go beyond. Go beyond. That means we do easily influence by all things in the phenomena. I mean, try our best, not to highly influence, 受影响. Clear? It's just like things happen in the world. It's just like climate change, 气候变化. Singapore is a human heaven, no? You want to ask, where is a heaven? You have to wait until you die, then go to the heaven. 去天堂, you're wrong. This is a human heaven. I mean, basically, at the moment, no natural disasters. 没有天然灾害嘛. I always say that. You look at the weather now in Beijing. 2 weeks ago, the newspaper came out, 41.38 degrees C, Other European countries, you see, usually going to hit until 48, They'll be down already. The Greece, sea lang. You see, in the European countries, supposed to be very cold. The weather is so hot. Look at India. Singapore, 2 days, break the record, 37. 呱呱叫 already. Wow, 冻不掉, I see了. So our temperature about 35, 34. But don't take things for granted. Everything is impermanent, subject to changes. And solely depend on us. If we go in destroy the whole thing, affect the environmental, the kind of thing, the temperature, everything will go up. Today, newspaper came out, Sunday time. They even have a graph picture. The whole earth changed. The temperature, everything, more even heated, hotter. The temperature still go up. Now, who to blame? You see, according to Buddhism, these are natural cycles, up and down, very natural, 自然的, natural cycle. You birth, death, 生死, 生死. So these are all natural cycles, But it's the human being, we human being going to speed up the whole thing. This is what I say, 你加剧它的变化. In Chinese, you 加剧, you speed up because you never observe hygiene, animals, air pollution, this and that, whatever happened. Now in Japan, they're going to pour away the nuclear water. And the United Nations agree, because they say no harm. South Korea also, I don't know why they say no harm. South Korea is the neighbor of Japan, China, South Korea, North Korea, they scared, because too near to Japan, they will kena first, they will get it first, Then the seawater flow, then flow to Taiwan Sea. Yesterday, newspaper came out. This month, 20-something, go to open the Taiwan 小吃 in Cathay, theater, whatever. 你小心台湾小吃. The water flow to Taiwan first. Do you read the newspaper? Because Taiwan a lot of 小吃很好吃嘛. They want to follow I don't think so. It's exactly. 士林夜市什么? If you went to Taiwan, a lot of people like to go Taiwan, Singaporean, right? So now they want to copy. You need to go there, but you can eat here, enjoy the Taiwanese food in Singapore. Then the water will flow. South China Sea, 南中国海, Vietnam, Malaysia, Singapore. Not far and not near, very fast one, Correct or not? Then typhoon wind blow, support, the sea water will just, they come here. So all these are human beings. Who to blame? So we have a shared karma to live in this world. Shared karma, 共业, 我们住在这个地球 Earth. So everybody will die, but not at the same time, but around the period. Anyway, so 众生是一体 to show us that, to tell you what's the meaning, middle path, to convey the important message also, we are not supposed to have a differentiated mind, non-differentiation, non-discrimination, 无分别, right? Emptiness, all kinds of things. Okay. Now, if you know the Dharma, you know what I'm talking. If you don't know, so please pretend to know, so we can close up the case. You see, in Dharma class, a lot of people pretend to know, so we can move forward. Our stagnant, they still Okay, so please refer to your textbook. We back to the class again. Page 106 in your English textbook. We are still in the chapter 5, 第五品, Diamond Sutra. Later we'll go to more interesting topic. Can you see the page 106? As you know, this chapter is talking about, how we see the true reality, 实践, 见法如见佛. You see the Dharma is something like refers to, you see the Buddha physically. But Buddha was no more in this world anymore. He was born in India 2,600 years ago. 他不在了. He already attained Nirvana, or can use a Monday word, pass away, 死掉. So how to see the Buddha? You follow his teaching. His spirit still all around us. The Dharma, the truth everywhere. You see the statue, you just see the Buddha. But of course, statue is not important. You see you just know his teaching. Follow his teaching. It's just like you see the Dharma. 见法如见佛 in Chinese. Okay? So please don't cling on to it. Wow, statue very nice and this and that, whatever. So all these are considered attachment, 执着. Once you attach to the world or to the external object, and this is how we cause suffering. 本人说师父，我哪里可以不 attach? See, pretend to know see 啊，不要 attach. You're wrong. Doesn't mean that. You see, but you see through. 看透不是看破。In Chinese, right? Chinese say 看破人生 become monk. Like me, Buddha. Sorry. If you 看破破掉 like empty pocket, 那种 last 不久的 and you will be very pessimistic because you 看破破掉 don't eat, don't sleep, don't work, this and that. All these are pessimistic, 很悲观 But 你看透 you see through it, you just see the real reality, you know what is going on, what is life, what is the Buddha teaching, so you'll be more optimistic, right? So it's a different mentality, right? Different kind of concept. Now, so please see the page 106. Can you see the verse? Subhuti reply, no, indeed, Bhagavan. The Tathagata cannot be seen by means of the possession of attributes. And why not, Bhagavan? What the Tathagata say is the possession of attributes. Is no possession of attributes. It's just like, Buddha said, yeah, I give a Dharma talk, but actually I'm not giving a Dharma talk. But it's true, I'm giving a Dharma talk. It's just like in the Zen, in Zen, Chan Zhong, 见山是山, there are 3 stages. I read Chinese first, if you heard before. 见山是山, 见水是水, 见山不是山, 见水不是水. This is the second step, last stage. Then go back again. 见山是山, 见水又是水. This is a different kind of a stage, 3 stages. Initially, people like you and me, as ordinary people, I see this classroom. Yes, this is a classroom. Yeah, this is a classroom. 叫见山是山. So you cannot deny the fact that this is not a classroom. Yes, this is a classroom. But when you know emptiness, when you know空, emptiness, because when you see this is a classroom in the way that we are clinging on to it, we thought, yes, this is the real classroom. 真的是课室啊. So in the way that you and me are, whether intentional or unintentional, because we are clinging on to it, because we have a notion of the classroom. And this is a permanent classroom, won't be changed, something like that. But when you know emptiness, when you have a wisdom, you know that although this is a classroom, but this classroom are not real, unreal, because subject to changes, impermanent. Because this is going to depend on causes and conditions, yin yang. So subject to changes, nothing is permanent. So therefore, I shouldn't cling on to it. Mentally you prepare already. This is going to change, one day going to change, right? And come back to the last stage. Then you say, yeah, this is a classroom. But when you reach the 3rd stage, It's different from the first stage when you recognize that this is a classroom because you know emptiness already. So you come back to recognize this classroom, you know mentally prepare, these are all unreal, impermanent, so I shouldn't attach to it. So everybody is still living in the third stage when you gain the second stage. But it's different from the first stage. First stage is just like ordinary people because they attach to it. That's why this is how they cause suffering. But when you come to the third stage with the wisdom 智慧, you know how to deal with this problem. Clear? So therefore, as a true Buddhist, 正信, we should upgrade ourselves. We should learn more skill as possible. It's just like in Mahayana Buddhism, as a Bodhisattva, 要学五明呢, they must manage to have a 5 skill, the kind of knowledge, in order to benefit themselves and benefit sentient being, 利益众生. Right? But as you can see, a lot of Buddhists very pessimistic one. 念佛啦,好像 waiting to die, 当戏 not energetic, not cheerful enough. Do you want to pick up, learn some skill or whatever to upgrade yourself? So this is a different mentality different from other religion. I mean, this is what Buddhism, because they thought this is a Dharma, the teaching from the Buddha, but in fact it's not. So therefore, later we go to another chapter talk about right understanding. So right understanding, 正见 in Buddhism, very, very important. Just like you come for Dharma talk, Dharma Sutra or Dharma class, it's not so much on how much you gain the Dharma knowledge, This is not how much you gain the Dharma knowledge, All these are knowledge, But it's how much you can practice the Dharma in your daily life, in order to gain wisdom. Right? When you gain the wisdom, then you can solve a lot of problems. And this is very important. And the Dharma knowledge or Dharma, the truth, is closely related to mundane things are in the mundane level, So we don't overlook things in the mundane level, 很多人就是忽略嘛 ，overlook 嘛。你到学佛就是阿弥陀佛，阿弥陀佛，你看，chanting， and pray. They thought they can get rid of the heavy karma, right? No wisdom, the karma is still there. The karma won't disappear. You study the Dharma class, right? Spiritual cannot override karma, and the karma cannot be destroyed until one become enlightened one. You see, this is a very important concept, I tell you. Even for the Sangha, monk or nuns, they also don't know, Don't talk about these people. 出家人都不懂. For those monastic, listen carefully. A lot of people have that kind of concept. Okay, I agree. You talk about heavy karma, 我业障很重嘛. A lot of obstacle, a lot of suffering 嘛, 受苦嘛. So how to get rid of suffering? 怎么离苦? So 不要造业嘛，可以了。你说业bad karma, especially bad karma 啦。So how? You say, oh, right, got the wisdom, practice in our daily life, then gain the wisdom, then kick out, get rid of karma, 把它弄掉，你懂吗？ You have that kind of mentality. 你把业弄掉了，你不是没有了 ，become zero 了。So no karma, then I can attain. I have a freedom already. Attain a liberation, 解脱了吗 ？But in fact, we are wrong. Karma cannot be destroyed. According to Master 应顺业力不失坏。You know the Chinese? 业力不失坏。I mean karma cannot be destroyed. 不能摧毁掉的嘞。I give you an example. I slap onto your face. I give you one slap 我打你一巴掌。那就哎呦是啊 ，due to impulsive 太冲动了。Sorry, brother, sister, sorry. And you know Singaporean always say 什么 ？Sorry, no cure. You say people always say sorry, no cure, right? 意识浅浅嘛 ，sorry 个屁吧，我已经被打了，你 sorry， right？ 好啦 ，I accept your apologize 不是，那不会送了嘛，一半嘛。你到底嘅 100% accept? Come on don't tell lie. How can they came out this word? Sorry, no cure 嘛。So that means you give slap 拍掉啦，嚟拍他啲 skin 咧，你講 sorry， you sorry 嘅時候，the thing won't disappear，no？ 佢氣到要死嘛。 Just like this karma, because you slap the face, this is an action. I slap your face. 我打你一巴掌。Karma right? 你讲什么都没有用了吗 ？Too late already 吗 ？Quite not. So the karma will disappear. So what can you change? What can we change? Okay, you slap on my face. Due to compassion. Compassion in connection with wisdom. Right? 跟智慧挂钩。你说，你打我。I practice no self 无我吗？你打谁？没有啊，没有打到我啊。阿 Q 我的特别啦，哪里有？你打啦，你打啦啊，我啦。所以你阿 Q 不是 no self 吗 ？And also know the people slap you， 他我说空，你也空吗？能空可以康康吗？讨卡康康了吗 ？No, you know the Dharma, the Mahayana Buddhism 三轮体空吗 ？Three ways in connection with emptiness 三轮体空吗 ？Giver, receiver, things you give, same thing 咯。People slap on your face, who slap you? 空能够可以空。Then the slap you 也手嘛空，我不 slap 空，or emptiness. So why else to have a hatred? Nothing to be sorry or whatever, apologize 啊，你这样很难做得到啊。Now, if you do that, you are freedom, free from suffering, no affliction 就没有烦恼了咯。You know what I mean? So these three will in connection. Emptiness, actually you can practice in our daily life, So we have to train ourselves, not easy. Okay, so back to here. No time to tell you the story. You see, I'm not talking nonsense, because Dharma are very profound. But Dharma talk until you don't know. Then you say, wow, this is very good. Wow, this speaker very good. Why very good? Because talk until I don't know. You do know that it's very good, very profound. You講我聽不懂嘛？哇，真深嘛！你看，那 if I put into the very plain, in the simple manner, how you relate in the daily life? 哎呀，這 Dharma Sutra, you say very profound, 不會咧。I heard from very 長清哦，哎呦 ，always joke one， 你真 plain 咧，跳舞咧，跳舞啊，你做無？ So don't mistaken Dharma doesn't mean it must be very profound. Of course it's profound, but depends how you relate into the lay people, convey to the lay people, so that they can understand. And they can practice in the daily life, so that they can gain the Dharma knowledge. Gain the wisdom. Doesn't mean they talk until people don't know. Actually they also don't know. They don't know, you don't know, who know? Because everything follow word by word, just read out only Oh, Bhagavan, Suputi, good, well done. Sadhu. I tell you, you know Sanskrit, you know Hokkien, Hokkien, know Sanskrit. Sadhu, title, lo. You know Sadhu is excellent, So people fell down and say, Sadhu, you give you a slap, Sadhu. And then people go, very good, And some people write an article, I told you already. At the end of the article, they say Sadhu. Actually, you want to say Aumi Tofo, but can I show off my Sanskrit? Sadhu, S-A-D-U, Sadhu. So, that means you write your article, you praise yourself. Good. My article is good. Hokkien say, Bui Hao, go be gay can. Okay, first paragraph. So, having resolved to liberate all beings, Bodhisattva see beyond the arbitrary distinctions we make, including the distinction we make concerning body, even the Buddha body. You know the three body trikaya of the Buddha, right? I told you before. So concerning the body, even the Buddha's body, Subhuti was present at other assembly when the Buddha taught the doctrine of emptiness, in which all entities are seen as dependent in terms of space of other entities, and thus empty of any nature of their own, and hence not in themselves or themselves real. So, as I say, the substance. Of course, there's no real substance or no real entity in the world. 没有真实，没有实体的 in Chinese. No real entity in the world. Right? Why? Because of emptiness. Because of things are subject to changes. And because of all things are depend on causes and conditions. 因缘和合的. Like why you come here? Because it also depend on transportation, depend on you wake up on time, depend you finish your breakfast, then you walk here, you come here, everything smooth, no vehicle breakdown, no stomach ache, and the lift is working, operational, so you can come to the fifth floor. So all these are conditions. And the weather is fine, sunny weather, something like that. Not like the day rain for whole day, and you come also very inconvenient. So all these are good causes and conditions, 好的因缘, and therefore you come here. But a lot of people take things for granted. 理所当然，我要来就来，是啊，你要来就来啊。But subject to you are really fit, healthy, then you can come here. Who knows? You wake up, if you cannot wake up, then 較好死哦。You wake up, then you don't know what's going to happen to you also. Why? Unpredictable, right? All things can be changed. So, although Subhuti answers reveal his understanding of logical technique and used to express this doctrine, of course, Subhuti 是解空第一嘛 because he expert in emptiness. You know, Buddha have 10 chief disciples, 10大弟子. You know that Buddha have 10 chief disciples. All these 10 chief disciples have their kind of expertise. 他们的专长不一样的。It's just like, human being, specialize, just like a professor in the university, you specialize in this thing, specialize in something, computer, engineering, and so on and so forth. All right, expertise, 你的专长. So, of course, Subhuti is expert in emptiness. Right, he's very good in understanding emptiness. So he has not yet penetrated the emptiness or emptiness. 空空, emptiness or emptiness equal to ultimate emptiness. 毕竟空, I told you before. So what's the meaning of emptiness or emptiness? Means 空空, the first word 空 is a verb, 动词. The second word form,空空. The second word of emptiness, 空 is a noun. It's a noun, 名词. So 空空, that means you, even for emptiness, we still cannot, at the end of the day, still cannot cling on to the emptiness. So this is called 空空. And this is just like 金刚经, Dharma Sutra say that, 法上应舍, 何况非法. You see, like you come here to, through existence, you right, then to understand 空, emptiness, right? But you, from existence to emptiness, you learn in the process of learning, and this is still considered attachment, because you want to learn 空 ma. This is a desire, you attach to it, ma. But this is a good thing. But having said that, we talk about ultimate truth, when you reach the highest level, even for this emptiness, whereby if you understood, we still cannot cling on to it. Then you cannot understand already. Then I cannot grasp, I cannot obtain it. 我不能获得它. So how? At the end, nothingness, 没物件吗? So that's the reason why in India, they strongly criticize Nagarjuna, the second Buddha, 龙树菩萨, as a nihilist, 虚无主义者. You know nihilist? Nihilism, 虚无主义, 笼中嘅無啊, 虛無啊, nothing. You say this one also cannot, this one also cannot. Then 空空咯，頭殼空空 nothing 咯。But this is not the intention of Nagarjuna. Because the important concept is we cannot attach to anything in this defiled world. But doesn't mean that we don't recognize, we don't cling on, 不要執着。Understood? Okay, do not pretend to know. So on this occasion, however, the Buddha wants Subhuti to look beyond his physical and spiritual body, to his real body, which is free of all attributes, including the attribute of emptiness. Right? Even for emptiness, as I told you, we still cannot cling on to it. But now you try to learn here, come here to learn the Dharma from the Dharma talk, all this Buddhism, Buddha teaching. This is right, this is nothing wrong, But when you practice in your daily life and you so-called like you have a Prajna wisdom, right? So this textbook, Dharma Sutra, you can throw away already. But now you cannot throw, no. Right? A lot of people throw away. I read one time, I know already. Come on, even for the good one, the books, you better keep it, Even until you want to go to coffin already, then, you see it out, man. Otherwise, and some textbooks are very good, Some people say, hey, I sell you second hand, I bought $30, I sell $10, $20, but Dharma, how to sell? Especially for the good books. Some may out of print, no more printing company want to print anymore. So luckily you have a copy, become antique, 古董 already, Well, very valuable, $1 million, Who knows? Okay. so subsequently you can see those scholars like Hui Nen, the sixth Patrick, you can refer to page 449 if you want. Next page, 107. The shorter version of the Heart Sutra, you can Heart Sutra, Xing Jing, you can refer to page 447 behind of this textbook. And the next scholar, Dao Chuan, you can see, refer to page 464 when you go back. Okay, you see the Heart Sutra. You see Heart Sutra, and what's the difference Heart Sutra and Diamond Sutra? I told you before, right? Diamond Sutra is for a group of people, more people to practice it, to chant it, to understand it, So this is called Diamond Sutra, cater for big crowd one. But Heart Sutra is for more personal, individual. Consists of 206 words. 206个字. Heart Sutra consists of 206 words. 206. You don't go and add in one number, keep away bill. Some people very good in imagination one. Okay. Now, Heart Sutra also talk about emptiness. Especially talk about no self, 无我. Okay? So, if you no time to chant the Diamond Sutra in the daily basis, if you need to work, and very busy, then you can recite Heart Sutra, Xing Jing, very fast. If you chant very fast, less than 10 minutes. 5 minutes, 6, 7 minutes, I do it before. Now, Diamond Sutra, Diamond Sutra, if you chant very fast, half an hour or 35 minutes, in normal speed, it's about 40, 45 minutes. If you 老牛推车, then about 50 to 1 hour. 如是我闻我爱困了 sleepy. 那种 you can chant for 1 hour. Okay? Some people chanting inexperienced. You yourself also 没亏. Then you say slow better, 比较专业. Then 底下的人哇两个面青青. Then after finish the chanting, 哎，为什么你的面青青? Oh, I just finished chanting. 我们看你唱什么经啊 ？Diamond Sutra. 哦，怕死嘛，卖起哇！出来贵宾青起了 ，too long already. 哎，too fast 哦，哇 ，my heartbeat boom 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 like volcano eruption， 火山爆发嘛是死，对不对 ？So middle part. If you know the chanting, people like us very experienced. Chanting if your low tone because it 冇亏嘛，像唔 if from low to high, you can, because 不很难听 low slowly to high. But if you are starting 给强 show off very high tone, 你说我是两个半死亏不呀？真歹听，跟你讲啊，我跟你讲几个 gone already. 所以你不能高低，你可以低高，懂吗？你唱歌也是这样的。I tell you, because we chant we know one. 所以很多人就给强了，说如是我闻，经过听，哇，很好听，他念得很好听哎，唱了 after 15 minutes 冇去了，冇 stamina 啦，你知冇 ？Especially for the long sutra， 像金刚经这种，我跟你讲，唔通念伤紧哦，念伤紧较紧死哦。You will die first. Okay, see the Heart Sutra begin. When Avalokiteshvara, that means this Guan Yin Pusa, Bodhisattva, penetrated the prajna parameter. The 6 parameters, 6 perfection, 6 2. But this prajna is the last one, and yet the very important one. So she saw that the 5 skandha, people like us, body, make up 5 skandha, will win. So what are the skandha? 5 of them: form, sensation, perception, volition, and cognition. Right? 色、受、想、行、识 in Chinese, 5 skandha, or 5 aggregates in English. So the constituents of what passes for the individual are empty, because all these are lack of intrinsic nature, 没有自信 lack of own nature, subject to changes, impermanent. All these are depend on causes and conditions, 因缘的 in Chinese. And she freed herself of all suffering and obstruction. Shariputra, form is no other than emptiness, and emptiness is no other than form. 色即是空，空即是色 in Chinese. You say, how can be 空? Computer how can be 空? 空 how can we become computer? 色即是空，空即是色. It's very profound 嘛 It's a paradox 嘛 From our normal thinking is a paradox, but they just want to tell you, computer is considered existent 有是空来的 有是从空来的，这样 because this computer is depend on causes and condition. Alright? So the nature of computer is empty. Nature. Alright? It's just a substance. One substance, two function. Clear? So it's emptiness. So emptiness is form is emptiness. 色即是空，空即是色. So it's to tell you we cannot say 色 and 空. These are the two extremes, no? Because the way you see, these are two different things, object A and B. So it's automatically you cling on to it because you have a kind of notion, thinking, mentality. The two things are here. So these are considered two extremes. So if you refer to Diamond Sutra, 色即是空，空即是色, that means there's no differentiation, no discrimination. That means we have to go beyond it, like that. Here, middle path. Only here, then we can detach, not attach, 不会执着, then we will cause suffering. Of course, theoretically very simple, you know, I mean 1 + 1 = 2, but theoretically it's okay, no? Everybody will know. But practically, we're talking about practically, how to practice it. 这个就是个学问哦。We have to train ourselves, no? But if you can practice it, then you become Buddha. You are sitting here and people worship to you, no? 1 bow to the Buddha, 3 prostration to you. Then you're sitting here, no? People prostrate to you, no? 跟你拜咯。Right? No? That is a difference. Not like you and me as ordinary people, like me 罚站 for 1.5 hours. But he sit down here, relax, I standing here throughout the whole lecture. So different. I'm ordinary people. He's a Buddha. Correct? No? Okay, back to here. So form is emptiness, and emptiness is form. Sensation, perception, volition, and cognition are also like this. 以此类推, same logic. Okay, last verse before we finish this chapter. This having been said, the Buddha told the Venerable Subhuti, since the possession of attribute is an illusion, 希望的 Subhuti, and no possession of attribute is no illusion. By means of attributes, there are no attributes. The Tathagata can indeed be seen. Okay? Now, so this is actually back to just how I told you already, because it's just all due to emptiness, so we shouldn't have a clinging on to the object and have a differentiated mind, so on and so forth. So you see the below how they explain. In Subhuti answer, I told you already, Subhuti expert in emptiness, 他懂空的嘛, not like me, you and me 嘛. So he know emptiness, understood emptiness, so definitely he wouldn't attach to any object, things in the world, correct? Not like you and me 嘛. So this is how we cause the suffering. 这个就是我们为什么会受苦嘛. If you are easily highly influenced by other people, 你就会苦了咯，你就会 suffer 了咯。Right? No? Now, of course, in the family, your children, if your children got problems, as a parent, 你也是很苦啊。Like yesterday, I met one of the students. Right, his two girl children, got problem, and he also very, frustration, the kind of thing, 很苦啊。Then he still have to work. Then he got the pressure, pressed by the supervisor. 你看人就是这么苦。就是常说家家有本难念的经哦。你说经干经很难念哦，经假啦哦。嘛你将你的经哦，过个排练哦。Means that 家家有本难念的经 in Chinese means that everybody have their own problem, own family problem. 一个家呢你会没有问题？快咯。你自己都有问题啊 ，yourself also got problem 咯。Then you live with your husband, 两个 problem. Then you have a children, 個夾最 more than 2 problem. 快咯。So it's not easy, But I mean, if you are Buddhist, you know the Dharma, so you are more lucky, very fortunate because has some Dharma knowledge or wisdom, so you manage to, solve the problems and sometimes have to let go. So at least not too bad, But 那些没有 Dharma knowledge 很辛苦嘞。You see, family so many problems, some drug addicts and this and that and so on and so forth. So many problems. But who want to tell you I got problem? Everybody pretend 嘛，你講你有 problem 真鬧虧嘛，對吧？你 pretend to smile， 哇，這個師兄他很會笑，他很會笑，因為差不多可以笑了咯。Okay, back to here. So in Subhuti answer, we see the beginning, but not the conclusion of the dialectic developed by the Buddha to convey the concept of sunyata. This is in Sanskrit, bracket emptiness, sunyata. This dialectic, Sanskrit 辩证法, and this is actually the method used by Nagarjuna, right? How they go by the logic, so-called like Buddhist logic, to refute or to infer, English called infer, 推论, the false statement for the existence in the mundane level, then go to the world transcending level, from the worldly Dharma to world transcending Dharma, or supramundane level. Okay, this is called dialectic. So it's very kind of philosophical things. Of course, we are not going to go to detail unless we have a special class for Nagarjuna. It's just I'm teaching the Buddhist college for those academic study. They have to know this so-called dialectical method, very popular in Nagarjuna philosophy. 龙树菩萨. So I tell them, Buddhism is not just pray, 保佑保佑. You must go and pray the God. 去 Taoism 咯，拜神咯。Right? Buddhism not just pray only. No. Buddhism talk about cultivation, 修行的呢。修行你要自己修呢，你 cannot say self cultivation, say expect the external help. 佛啊保佑我，保佑我，保佑我。拜神跟拜神修香嘛，你马上 go and 拜神。Right? But a lot of people don't know. 拜神神佛不分 in Chinese in China during in ancient China 以前中国拜神拜佛都是一样一模一样的 no different one. 以前在 in India ancient India now even now for those Hinduism and Buddhism they took it similar sama no. That's why you see now in Singapore the vegetarian restaurant a lot of Hindu people go there and eat. Can you see I believe you met a lot of Hindu people, right? Ampunaya last time not many, but now very common, But you may be surprising, they are not Buddhist, They are Hindu, But they thought they themselves also Buddhist, But actually they are Hindu. 他们是新都教 But they believe in vegetarian. I mean, if I take vegetarian food, this and that. To them, And the India, in ancient India, they got 4 caste system. I told you already. And now still remain, And now the country can see those kind of inequality of female and male. 男女不平等的呢 And even until now still happen to them. They will never change. First country is India. In Asia, country India, then followed by Japan and South Korea. Japan even worse than South Korea. So the status for the male and female are different. The female is lower. But your girls in Singapore very lucky. Why? Equality. Anybody can become president. Just like a Harima, although you're going to step down, she want to step down in September. Right now. So if you're a good sister, you also can become president. So your class will support you, all classmates, vote you, but your vote is not enough. Okay, so you say at this point, to see what an entity is no entity is not enough. At this point, Subhuti present the Hinayana views of emptiness. Hinayana means Theravada views of emptiness. So what is the Theravada views of emptiness? Because they view emptiness is no self. To them it's no self. So they are very keen, to abandon self-attachment. 我执破我执 self-attachment. Therefore we practice a lot of meditation. We call it forest monk in the forest, in 在森林里面 during the Buddha time. Right? So more on self-cultivation, more on just the benefit to yourself, 自己受好处, but not so much on sentient beings, unlike for Bodhisattva. Okay? So here they say, Subhuti present the Hinayana views of emptiness, not the Mahayana view. And I told you the difference between the two, Hinayana and Mahayana. What is the difference between the two? So we see emptiness is also empty. Thus, the Buddha acts to the Subhuti response in order to complete the dialectic for him. So the Chinese Zen master Jing Yuan, can you turn to the next page? So Jing Yuan explained it in this way. He said, when I first began to practice, the mountain and the river are simply mountain and river. I told you this is a Zen practice. 见山是山，见水是水嘛. It means you see the thing is really what you see in front of you. There's nothing changed or whatever. It's thing in front of you, you see. Very clear. So mountain and river.
So after I advance in my practice, when you practice the Dharma, go to the second stage, as I told you earlier, the mountain and rivers were no longer mountain and river. We know that. Why it's no longer mountain and river? Although the mountain and river is still there, but no more already. Why? Because you know that it's unreal. Because all these mountain and river are depend on causes and conditions. Impermanent, subject to changes. It's just like climate or weather. Impermanent, subject to changes. You see, when we complain the weather so hot is okay, no? If you hot and humid, I need to 真假啦了，闷才能够闷啊。And that's happened in Beijing and Taipei, no? Because now summer already. Because I was studying in Taiwan last time, I stayed in Taipei during the summer period, July to September. Of course, a lot of typhoon. You know, typhoon only occur during there's a hot weather because of the ocean. You know how they happen with typhoon, and they blow from the America that side, you know. So when they blow, Taiwan will hit first. Taiwan, Philippines will kena first. Japan. So China, mainland China, 진짜 heng, very lucky. Why? Because we're blocked by all those countries. Blocked by Taiwan, Philippines is of course to the south one. North one is Japan and South Korea, right? They will encounter first. 他们会遇到的. So they block already. When they blow to typhoon, blow to China, not too bad already. So become weaker already. Right now, but those countries, you see, always see the typhoon easily get a kind of impact from Philippines, you know, Li Song Dao, whatever lah. So they will get it first. So this is a geographical location of Bobian Karma ma. They say, Singapore very safe, no typhoon. Who know? Typhoon buba jiwe leh. No I one eh. You suka bear. Oh, brother, I'm here. Hello, I'm coming. Right now. Okay, so back to here. Now, so when I reach the end of my practice, the mountain and rivers are simply mountain and river, but it's a different mentality already because you know that this is unreal. So you're not easily attached to it. It's compared with the first stage, right? Because, why? Why you see the difference? Because you have a wisdom already, because you know emptiness. As an ordinary people, they don't know what is emptiness. Right now. So they just cling on to it. Oh, never change, thing will never change. Okay, next paragraph. The Buddha's point is that while we can view the attributes of a body as an illusion, unreal, if we can see them as no attributes, as not severed from the seamless fabric of reality, we see the Buddha's true body. The Buddha true body means the Buddha Dharma body, Dharmakaya, 法身. True body refers to Dharma Kaya. It means Dharma body of the Buddha. Right? Dharma body. This is the Buddha true body. 真正的佛身, spiritual one, beyond time and space. So therefore, this Dharma Kaya or Dharma body means truth, the real truth. 真理. 真理之身 in Chinese. So, which necessarily include the very attributes whose reality was just Dani. Thus, the Arahant, that means the fourth fruition, Arahant, okay? Daniels of reality becomes the Bodhisattva affirmation. Because Bodhisattva is one stage higher than Arahant. Okay? So it's a different level of kind of their achievement. So, Bodhisattva affirmation. So this technique is used repeatedly throughout this sutra to demonstrate through logic, what the word emptiness often fails to convey by itself. So just like you know this principle, so throughout the whole Dhamma Sutra, more than 30 chapters, and they're using the same principle, same concept, same logic throughout the whole sutra. It's just like you learn mathematics. If you know the equation, the principle, you know the principle, equation. So you just plug in any figure. So can work. You know, this is how you solve the tutorial, the mathematics. So it's the same thing here, same logic. So meanwhile, Zen master often shorten this logical technique even further by holding up one finger, by refusing to speak, by striking their disciple, or by offering them a cup of tea. So whether I ask you to wash toilet, go and mop the floor, and they ask you to do the kind of funny thing, right? But actually, all this include the kind of dharma inside, the kind of truth inside, 真理, you go and take the water, and you don't use a leaf, you climb up from staircase, it must be crazy. Leaf don't use, then climb the staircase, whatever. So sometimes I think it's not logical thing, but they want you to strike your brain to think, to contemplate what he told you, the instruction given to you. So and this is how you generate the wisdom. So in Zen they call it koan, 就是公案 in Chinese. Koan. Have you heard before in English? Koan. K-O-A-N. Koan. 公案. And this is in fact very profound in Zen school, Chanzong, Zen Buddhism. If you don't know the Dharma, if you want to know koan, 公案, very difficult. So Zen Buddhism doesn't mean that just meditate. You just practice meditation. Not only that. And you should know the meaning of meditation. Why you practice meditation? What is the purpose of meditation? Correct now? Okay. The below one, those scholars, I just tell you the page. Asanga, this is one of the co-founder, co-brother of the founder of the Yogacara school. Asanga Wu Zhuo, page 438. The next one, Zhi Fo, page 441. The next page, page 109, Ding Fo Bao, this is one of the scholars, so page 466. Shen Feng Yi, this one, page 466. Tong Li, Zhong Li, this is page 467, this scholar. Okay, turn to next page, page 110. Shen Zhao, I told you, very important in Chinese tradition, talk about Madhyamika. This is one of the scholars as well, page 460. De Qing, page 465. It just indicated if you are interested, go back to behind of the textbook so that you're going to search for it. I tell you the page number, so easier for you to look for it. The next one, scholar called Thich Nhat Hanh. You know Thich Nhat Hanh? Yixin Changshi, the Vietnamese monk, passed away already, very popular in the world. Do you know Thich Nhat Hanh? Yixin Changshi, right? So even for Vietnam Buddhism, they consider Mahayana Buddhism, I mean 大乘佛教, but their uniform is different from us, you know. You see the Vietnam one, you know, 他的裤子 他不绑的 they didn't tie one, they just wear, and they wear usually the dark brown color. But they also consider Mahayana Buddhism, but slightly different a little bit. And this Thich Nhat Hanh is very popular in the world, all right, because they have a kind of village, they call Palm Village or whatever. Then they practice meditation. They last time used to borrow the place from Guangming San Bright Hill Temple. Okay, the next one, this Paul Thich Nhat Hanh, page 465. Dao Yuan, page 464. Okay, that's it. Okay, we finish this chapter 5. So now we move on to chapter 6, 第六分 in Chinese. Now, if a Chinese sutra, let me read the Chinese first, then followed by English. Now, if you have Chinese sutra, then refer to Chinese one. 第六分真性稀有 talk about right faith, 正性 very important. Later you can see the slide here. Let me see. Okay. Wait, okay, later you see. Okay, later you see this PowerPoint. Okay, let me do it in Chinese first. 须菩提，白佛言：世尊，若有众生得闻如是言说章句，生实信佛。佛告须菩提：莫作是说。如来灭后，后500岁，有持戒修福者，以此章句，人生信心，以此为实，当知是人。不以一佛、二佛、三世五佛而种善根，以无量千万佛所种住善根，闻是章句，乃至一念生精信者，须菩提，如来悉知悉见，是诸众生得如是无量福德，何以故？是诸众生无复我相、人相、众生相、寿者相，无法相，亦无非法相，何以故？是诸众生若心取相，即为着我人众生寿者。若取法相，即着我人众生寿者，何以故？若取非法相，即着我人众生寿者。是故不应取法，不应取非法，以是义故。如来常说：汝等比丘知我说法，如法亦舍，法上应舍。I told you just now the phrase, right? 何况非法？哇 ，this is a very long verse. You see, look at the English one. Can you refer to your textbook, page 111. Chapter 6. This having been said, the Venerable Subhuti asked the Buddha, Bhagavan, will there be any beings in the futures, in the final epoch, in the final period, in the final 500 years of the Dharma ending age, who give birth to a perception of the truth of the words of a sutra, such as that spoken here? The Buddha said, Subhuti, do not ask, will there be any beings in the future, in the final epoch, in the final period, in the final 500 years of the Dharma ending age, who give birth to a perception of the truth of the words of a sutra, such as the spoken here? Surely, Subhuti, in the future, in the final epoch, in the final period, in the final 500 years of the Dharma ending age, there will be fearless bodhisattva who are capable, virtuous, and wise, who give birth to a perception of the truth of the words of a sutra, such as that spoken here. You see, sometimes they have to repeat the phrase. That's the reason why it becomes very long. And you must ask why it's so low, why are you going to repeat the time? Because they want you to make sure you get it. Some people hear in, right in, left out, something like that. So this is actually 它的作用, the purpose behind. Okay, next paragraph. Indeed, Subhuti, such fearless bodhisattvas will have honored but just one Buddha, and they will have planted auspicious roots before not just one Buddha. Surely, Subhuti, such fearless bodhisattvas will have honored countless hundreds and thousands of Buddha, and they will have planted auspicious roots before countless hundreds and thousands of Buddhas. In the words of a sutra or such sutra as that spoken here, so they are sure to gain perfect clarity of mind, and Tathagata knows them, Subhuti, by means of his Buddha knowledge. And the Tathagata, next page, see him, Subhuti, by means of his Buddha's vision. The Tathagata is answers of them, Subhuti, for they all produce and receive a measureless infinite body of merit. And how so? Because, Subhuti, these fearless bodhisattvas do not create any perception of a self, nor do they create the perception of being, alive, or soul. Not, Subhuti, do these fearless bodhisattvas create the perception of a Dharma, much less the perception of no Dharma. So, Subhuti, they do not create a perception, nor no perception. And why not? Because, Subhuti, if these fearless bodhisattvas created the perception of a Dharma, they will be attached to a self, a being, a life, and a soul. So likewise, if they created the perception of no Dharma, they will be attached to a self, a being, a life, and a soul. And why not? Because surely, Subhuti, fearless bodhisattva do not cling to a Dharma, much less to no Dharma. And this is the meaning behind the Tathagata saying, a Dharma teaching is like a raft. If you should let go of Dharmas, how much more so no Dharma? Wow, you see, very long. Anyway, I read one time already. You see, 金刚经, if you know that, sometimes they, a lot of phases they try to repeat, right? Even not only 金刚经, Dhamma Sutra, even for other sutra as well. So you must wondering how come so low, so one, and those to compare a kind of sutra can repeat so many times. But actually, they want us to have a more deep impression of what the sutra is talking. And, usually people like you and me are very forgetful one. So make sure you have a good impression of the sutra. You can remember the sutra well. Okay, so I'll see the content here. They give an introduction here. Chapter 6. Now, this sutra has just begun. And Subhuti. Now, this chapter is actually, as I say, I tell you the gist of this chapter, right? We call it the 第六分. It's talking about very rare, difficult for us to know, so-called like the right faith in Buddhism, 正信 or right belief. Now, when you're talking about the faith or belief in the religion as a whole, not only Buddhism talking about right faith, not only Buddhism talking about the faith, you must have a strong faith in your religion, but even for other religions as well. Religions like, Christianity, Catholic, Hinduism, Muslim, Taoism, and so on and so forth, or Judaism, Jainism, they also talk about belief, faith. You must believe in God. Right? They used to say, you must believe in God. God will save you, and God will help you. God will bless you. Now, you don't believe in God, then you won't get anything benefit from the God. So similarly in Buddhism, you don't believe in Buddha, then you don't follow the Buddha teaching. Definitely you don't study Buddhism anymore, because I don't believe in Buddha. I suspect Buddha will bless me, or I suspect his spiritual power, 他的神通 really powerful enough or not to help me. Right or not? So sometimes you pray, so you lack confidence. 他真的会保佑我吗？我假了。It means lack confidence already. But to Christianity, they have a strong faith in the God. They believe in God. It's like some very crazy one. Because God will bless me. Every day I wake up, Amen. God bless. Right? So belief is very fundamental in the religion. But in Buddhism, we talk about, add in one word, right belief or right faith, 正信, is through analyzing, reasoning, investigation. So before we accept it. So it's more intellectual. So Buddhism right faith doesn't mean, not superstitious. So now you can see, according to Master Yin Sun, how we can become true Buddhists, whereby we have a right faith. 正信, right faith. So these are the stages we have to go through before we end up with right faith or right belief. First, through the right knowledge. Chinese called 正知. I explain to you what is right knowledge. Then go to next stage, right understanding, 正见. And you know that right understanding is number one, first one of eightfold path, 八正道嘛, right understanding. As you know, you study Dhamma, right understanding also means wisdom, 智慧来的嘛, 正见, right? And through the right understanding in the last stage, then you have a right faith. So, for those people, a lot of Buddhists very superstitious, 很迷信的, burn incense paper, believe in fortune teller, 算命看风水, whatever. Correct not? So this is not considered right faith. Why? Because they don't have right understanding. 他没有智慧嘛. So therefore, you see the whiteboard here. When you talk about right knowledge, means you know how to differentiate the things wrong or right, good or bad. 你懂得区分. And this is called knowledge. But this we are talking in terms of in the mundane level or in the considered worldly dharma. 世间法, people like us, we live in this defiant world. Right. So this is called right knowledge. Now after this right knowledge, through the right knowledge, then from the worldly dharma, when you go to right understanding, this we are talking in terms of world transcending dharma, 处世间法. It means in the super mundane level, 处世间. So we go beyond this. This is considered 有. In Chinese called 有, that means existence. Because you recognize things do exist. 有嘛, 无嘛. Okay, but this is talking in terms of in the mundane level, 世间法, people like us in this defiant world. But after this, we take it as a platform. Then we have a wisdom, we know again the Dharma knowledge. Then we go transcend. So right understanding become wisdom already. Alright? So this is actually we're talking in terms of world transcending level, 处世间法. So before we end up, we consider we have a right faith. That means if one who have a right faith in Buddhism, 如果一个人有正信, one who have a right faith in Buddhism means one who obtain the two level, whether worldly level, mundane level, or super mundane level, the kind of understanding or knowing the Dharma in the universe of whatever. So, when especially we have a right understanding, this one we will attach to it, but this one we won't attach to it. So, we will attach to the things in the phenomena, and yet we do recognize things in the phenomena. Clear now? You see the logic? pretend 啊，你喜欢的吗？讲到你听无吗？哇 ，good， Subhuti, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Good, I couldn't understand. I don't care. I go to Clarke Quay for my lunch already. 聽我不要緊，慢慢來哈。So this is how we call it right faith. It means right faith for the Buddhists means that you are not superstitious because you know the true Dharma. You see, there are 3 types of Buddhism in Buddhism. 有3種佛教徒。One is called nominal Buddhist, by name only. 皈依冇來了 never come to temple, never attend Dharma talk, Dharma classes. This is called nominal Buddhist, by name, 名字而已。A lot of people say LKY, our founder of Singapore, Lee Kuan Yew, LKY. He probably didn't take refuge, but he's more inclined to Buddhism. You know, he more inclined to Buddhism, but he didn't take. I don't think so. He take refuge. But anyway, if you don't take refuge, 你没有皈依嘛？ you don't baptize, you cannot consider as a Catholic or Christian 嘛？ And this kind of VIP, he never go to temple one, you know, or probably he study by himself. So they call by name. Probably he didn't practice, but he probably call himself as a Buddhist, right? By name. Because the NUS people, those students asked him. Somebody told me, you know, but he do agree. I mean, he's a Buddhist. But eventually, initially he practiced Buddhist meditation, but one of the GIC, today newspaper, one of the GIC chief, the old man, 73, 75 years old, he want to come out to for presidency election or presidential election. So, jala sakatu leh. How can you sakatu 3 candidates? So definitely you have to go to vote already. The popin, die must go to vote. Actually, I prefer walk over. No, walk over. I also walk over. Why? No, I walk over. I don't need to vote. Vote 麻煩呢。You know, like 掹我特別警察去排隊咧。Even people earlier than you know, uncle auntie 困唔落啊，恁自己都排隊啊。Even last time I vote, oh my goodness, like 點幾人最人了。因為 auntie 人冇困嘅嘛，困唔落嘛。So the auntie uncle 排真長嘅咧 long queue. It's either you go early or you go late, you know. If you go at night something, you vote, you know, already experience. 我哋試過講 people come out, those young couple, 先去 vote 啦 ，vote 了才去吃 breakfast， 就試了就排隊啦。Singapore actually very smooth. I'll talk about this at GIC because Lee Kuan Yew got a friend. You know GIC, right? Okay. So he got a friend in GIC, the member, and this friend of Lee Kuan Yew, I think he's Catholic. Then he taught Lee Kuan Yew the Catholic meditation. You know Catholic got meditation, you know? 他学我们的嘞，他也是有 beat 念珠的嘞。You know Catholic? So Lee Kuan Yew, of course, his friend 嘛，then 就 switch to Catholic meditation. Probably easier to learn you know, simple or whatever. So, you know, later stage 后期 I don't know whether he convert. He switched to Catholic meditation. You see lah, initially one Buddhist brother taught him meditation. 那个 brother 应该长他的头。He taught Lee Kuan Yew taught until go to Catholic meditation. You know, I heard lah, don't know how true it is. So this is, you know, so meditation like yoga. You know, yoga actually came from India. You know, 瑜伽. You know, Prime Minister Modi always in the one open area. You know, share everybody, join everybody practice yoga. You know, yoga is nothing to do religion one, but they also practice meditation. Even non-Buddhism during that time, even until now, they do practice meditation. Not only Buddhism, no, but the way they practice, the intention, the goal of meditation, the purpose of meditation is different from Buddhism. 你不要以為說做，你 you also sitting here 做，點坐咯 ，correct no? So, but it's different from Buddhism. Okay, 冇時間了，so back to here. So, you know, say this sutra has just begun, and the Subhuti is always speaking as if it were over. What's the time? Still got 5 minutes. So rank foremost among the Buddha's disciple for his understanding of emptiness. As I told you, he's very good understanding in emptiness for Subhuti. And having just heard the Buddha proclaim that only by seeing the emptiness of emptiness can we have a true perception of reality, means true reality, 实相. Subhuti understanding has been shaken, if not turned inside out. What more could the Buddha possibly say? But the Buddha is just beginning. Still, Subhuti has resolved to set forth on the Bodhisattva path, and he wonders, about being in the future. So how can they possibly grasp a teaching that proclaims appearances to be empty of any self-nature, and then proclaims that by means of such emptiness we perceive their real nature? So such a teaching most necessarily be difficult to accept, much less understand. But while Arahant see no need to look beyond emptiness, Bodhisattvas see emptiness as a raft they can use to cross the river of impermanence. So that's the view of Bodhisattva and Arahant, because different. Arahant is they only give you a self-attachment, but the attachment of the things in the phenomena, they still cling on. But for Bodhisattva, both are totally abandoned, whether things in the phenomena or physical body by ourselves. So that's the main difference between Bodhisattva and Arahant. 菩萨跟阿罗汉不一样。The difference between the two. So here they told us. Moreover, despite turning no dharmas into dharma, Bodhisattva remains unattached to both. Although they see it, but they unattached. That means they are detached. 不执着. Okay? Now, understanding, can you take a look on this PowerPoint? 正见. I told you already, means prajna, wisdom. Right understanding is the understanding of things as they are, and it is the Four Noble Truths that explain things as they really are. Things, because are like that, it's just like we look at it, we thought it's permanent, we thought they have a solid nature there or whatever, but Buddhism talk about lack intrinsic nature, therefore we say emptiness, right? So things really are. So right understanding, therefore, is ultimately reduced to understanding of Four Noble Truths. But of course, this in Theravada Buddhism, we talk four 四圣谛, 苦集灭道, suffering, cause of suffering, extinction path. Right? This is how Theravada Buddhism emphasizes a lot of Four Noble Truths. So this understanding is the highest wisdom. We see the ultimate reality. Ultimate reality, 最高的实相 means true reality, 实相, true reality. Okay? Okay, right, faith. You take a look here. Just I didn't tell. So faith is defined 7 trusts that practice the Buddha's teaching of bring fruit. Fruit means bring the result. Okay, it is trust and surrender to enlightened or highly developed means, such as like people like Buddha, such as Buddha or Bodhisattvas, or even certain highly respected monks, sometimes seen as a living Buddha. Those monks are very, very good in cultivation. We call it eminent monks, 高僧, just like Master Yin Sun, or we can say Xing Yun Da Si, Master Xing Yun, or Master Shen Yan in Dharma Drum. All these are considered eminent monks. People like us, all small fry, small monk, very, very small, just like 1 cent in the, Ganges River. Okay, so can you see the scholar here, Zhao Ming? This is one of the prints. You can refer to page 441. Hui Ren, this is a 6th patron, Liu Zu. Hui Ren, you can refer to page 449. Okay, you can look at refer to behind. Okay, time constraint. I read out this so-called like the first verse here. This having been said, the Venerable Subhuti asked the Buddha, Bhagavan, will there be any beings in the future, in the final abode, in the final period, in the final 500 years of the Dharma any age, who give birth to a perception of the truth of the words of a sutra, such as that spoken here? Now, okay, we just explain one paragraph first because time constraint, time's up. So in the preceding 3 chapters, Subhuti has heard the Buddha proclaims how Bodhisattva resolved to liberate all beings, while remaining detached from the perception of self, a being, or liberation of anyone, and how, as a result, they produce a body married that has no limit, a body that is the same as Buddha's own reward body. This means that just like Guan Yin Pusa, come back to this world, he see us, he living with us, but he's not influenced by anything in the world. Not like you and me, we are easily influenced, attached to the external object. So that is the difference. It's just like there's a Chinese phrase, 莲花出泥而不染. Okay? We are living in this world, but we are easily influenced by the external object. Then Buddha come back to this world, or Guan Yin Pusa come back to this world, but she's not easily influenced things in the phenomena. So that is different. Because he didn't cling on to it, he didn't attach to it, but we are attached to it. And this is how we cause suffering. Right? So this is the main difference. So we must, with the emptiness, prajna, then we'll be able to go beyond. It means detach from it. Won't cling on to it, things in the phenomena. So Subhuti has also heard the Buddha say that this real body of which is apparition, apparition that means he's a kind of a not real, unreal one, 幻影. And reward body are, but aspect can be seen, taught by means of attribute that are no attributes. Although we can see, but this is not a real body of the Buddha. Just like Buddha was born 2,600 years in India, those people, Indian people, can see the Buddha body, but that is not the Buddha real body. Buddha real body is Dhammakaya. 法身 means true. That is real body. Means his teaching, true 真理, not the physical body. Okay? So such as a teaching is indeed difficult to believe and difficult to understand, and it surpasses the reach of Subhuti's own understanding. Oh, this is very profound. Alright? So hence, while Subhuti is concerned about how, turn to the next page, 114, how others will be able to believe such a teaching, right? Implicit, that means implicit means impress something in his question. It is his own difficulty in grasping it. Okay? Now, today time constraint, we stop here. So next lecture we will continue. Wow, I tell you, that's the reason why I skip the scholar, how they explain. Otherwise, we cannot finish even 2 years. Because you only do it once every 2 weeks. Right? So it depends how you explain. No, I can just read or finish already. If I'm going to give you more example, then everything will slow down. But if I don't give you, I don't think so you understand. If I give you too much, then you laugh too much. So everything must be middle path. Sometimes laugh, sometimes cry. Okay, nothing to ask. Please hold the palm and follow me. Shall we do the dedication? 回向. May all the merits thus accumulated be dedicated to all sentient beings. May all sentient beings and I together attain Buddhahood. Okay, please stand up. Please hold the palm and follow me. One bow to the Buddha. Okay, see you on 6th of August. Enjoy your lunch. Okay, see you on next lesson.